This is Randall Root, and this recording is about SQL programming, specifically working with stored procedures. A stored procedure is a function or method that's used within a database. I have SQL Server Management Studio open, and I'm going to work with a particular database, such as the Northwind database. In the Northwind database, there are many different tables, including this one called categories. Categories demands that you have an integer category ID when you want to add something to a table, and it demands that we have a character name using Unicode or in varchar, Unicode 15 characters maximum. But a long description is not necessary, and a picture is not necessary either. To work with that table, I could actually go through and add standard SQL commands such as insert. I would need to identify which columns I'm going to insert into. And then put in the values. I know that the categories table is pretty small, so I'm pretty sure a value of 100 is going to be plenty. Now, if I take a look at the content of that table, I'll see that I can add something in. There have an identity column on the first column, and it shows that I can't explicitly put a value in. That's pretty common. So what I'll do is I'll take out the category ID and not put an explicit value in. It will automatically supply value for me. In order to work with my database tables, you can just use an insert or an update or a delete, but it's preferred that you actually make a stored procedure and place the insert, update, and delete statements within the stored procedure. The command to make a stored procedure is create procedure. You give it a name, and you provide a list of any parameters you want to use. In SQL, parameters are defined with a Microsoft SQL Server. Parameters are defined with a @ symbol, and other things like MySQL or Oracle, they can use different characters such as a colon or a question mark. I'll give it a data type that's compatible with the table's data type. In varchar 15, the SQL language is not case sensitive in most cases, so I'll just present uppercase, lowercase, just for ease of reading, legibility. You put the as keyword after the creation of the stored procedure, and then you put your the insert statement that you want to use. I of course want to use a parameterized value, so I would use my category name, the error message I'm seeing showing on the screen says that the create procedure must be the only statement in a batch of statements. A batch of SQL statements is a collection of one or more statements. In this tool, I can highlight a block of statements and now I have one batch of 2 statements and execute it. If I highlight only one statement, I have a batch of 1 statement and execute that. You can use the word go to separate batches. Adding the word go separates this set of statements from this set of statements. Or you can just ignore the error, because in SQL Manager Studio you can just highlight the code that you wish to run and run it separately. The error message is somewhat useful, but also somewhat confusing. If you're concerned, put the word go to separate the batches. With the stored procedure created, I should be able to find it listed in the Northwind database. If I was in the Northwind database, and I am, over under Programmability, Stored Procedures. Now, I can execute the stored procedure by using the following command: execute the name of the stored procedure, the IntelliSense tool in SQL 2008 still needs some work, so you get a lot of false information, and in this case the stored procedure name isn't showing up in IntelliSense. That's perfectly normal. You've done nothing wrong. It's just that you have to realize that this is kind of version 1 of the IntelliSense tool. It should get better in the future. You would be tempted to put parentheses to include the parameter. However, you can't use parentheses in a stored procedure. Executing like this, though, will work. It says the stored procedure cannot be found, but obviously it can because it worked. When I take a look at the table, so that new value is added in. If you get tired of seeing these errors that are incorrect, you can always turn off IntelliSense by clicking the button that enables and disables it. Now it's off, and the errors go away. Stored procedures are ways of including additional programming statements beyond just the insert. If I wish to alter the stored procedure, I change the code within the stored procedure by using the alter command and add additional code. Some common statements you use are begin to indicate the beginning of the procedure. I'll use a comment, and end to indicate the ending of the stored procedure code. Although optional, it usually is a nice addition. As of 2005, Microsoft also includes the ability to use the try-catch blocks. And it's considered also good form to use these as well. You can display error messages when an error message is caught by using the error_message function. Whenever you do an insert, update, or delete, it's also considered a good form to use transactional statements such as begin trend, and commit trend. You can also type out the entire word transaction, but the first 4 letters is sufficient. If the insert fails for some reason, the statement commit trend will never actually be executed. So in the catch block, what you do is you roll back the transaction to undo any changes that might have occurred. I'll alter that stored procedure and test to make sure that it still works. After I had the insert stored procedure created, I would continue on to make other stored procedures, such as a update statement. And I'll take a look at the results here. Let's try for category ID 9. One row affected. We verified that it actually worked, and it did. After I tested my code, I would then create a stored procedure around that code using the create procedure, give it a name, define my parameters, use the as keyword, use begin and end to indicate the beginning and end of my stored procedure code, the begin try, end try, begin catch and end catch to provide error handling, and begin transaction and commit transaction and the rollback transaction in case some kind of error occurs. In this demonstration, we took a look at how to create a stored procedure. We started by creating a SQL statement and testing it, and then wrapping a stored procedure around the SQL statement. Programming to your tables directly is considered inappropriate in many offices. Instead, you're supposed to have somebody create the stored procedure, and then whenever you want to insert, update, or delete values from a table, you're supposed to work with a stored procedure. This provides an abstraction layer between the table and any programming tools that you use. Hope this demonstration has been helpful. Until next time, this demonstration is done.